Well, hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Realign podcast, where we talk about your faith, your family, and your money. I'm your host, Brytton Rogers. I am the founder of Realine, and you might have seen us out online as Realign Network or Realign Bookkeeping. We kind of go by both as of right now, but ultimately, we do bookkeeping, we do financial coaching, we do CFO level services, and that's really the bulk of kind of what we do. So we want to welcome you in to this new community, this new podcast, this new platform where we're able to express some of our thoughts about money and about cultural topics. But most importantly, we're here to talk about realignment. And as you can see with the name, the little pun on words, right? Like typically it's REALIGN, realign, meant. But we wanted to give a little bit of a play on words. Really, the whole idea of that kind of came out of the lines on a spreadsheet. Honestly, like that was kind of the first thing that I was like, I'll make it LINE. And so since then, that's really just kind of evolved to keep the same meaning as the normal word realignment. And so here we are. So this is our first podcast. Just wanted to give you guys kind of an introduction to who I am and into how we got here. And so back in 2019, my wife and I, Maggie, my wife's Maggie, we got two kids, Lily and Luca. We moved here with no kids for the opportunity to work for Dave Ramsey at Ramsey Solutions, as many of you know, which was a dream, which was awesome. And we worked there for 6 years, pretty much almost 6 years. My wife also was able to work for his daughter, Rachel Cruz, who also is a nationally known author and speaker. And so, you know, we were very, very fortunate to be able to come down here and to start working for them. Maybe in another episode, we'll share the God story that was involved and how we got here. We definitely want to share that with you. So 6 years at Ramsey. And then last fall, I had the opportunity to go out and work for a guy who I admire a ton, still have a lot of respect for. But I went out to work for him because I was helping him start out his bookkeeping company and get it kind of off the ground. So I was his second hire. He had hired someone else. And so it was just the three of us. We had 8 bookkeeping projects. And in the last 3 years, we basically grew that from 3 people to 35 people and, you know, a very low amount of revenue to a multi-million-dollar organization in 3 years. And so I felt a lot of ownership in that. I was able to really help this guy grow the business, I felt like, and bring on a bunch of team members to that team. So about half the team was actually referrals that I had brought over. And so what we started realizing, though, you know, about 6 months ago was that we were having other people reach out to us about bookkeeping services too. So that we're not in that niche. That niche was home healthcare of the guy who I was working for. And so we had other people like coffee shops and engineering companies and chiropractic offices and dance competitions reaching out to us and saying, hey, we know you do bookkeeping. We know you worked for Dave Ramsey. We would love to connect with you. And so here we are, right? And so now 6 months later, we are going full-time. So I'm full-time with Realign. I've got an awesome team. Shout out to my boy Garrett over here doing the podcast for us. And we have an awesome person. Her name's Abby, who's doing our social media now. And, of course, my lovely wife doing the admin stuff, which she really enjoys doing. So it's a small but mighty team. But we're here, and we're here, and we're going to stay here. And this is our next push to really share some of our thoughts and our values and our opinions on things. Because I feel like one of the things that I always run into is I have a ton of opinions and a ton of things to say that are not appropriate for Facebook. But like in word form, like if I typed it out, right, like it would probably get 1 million comments and be, you know, this whole thing. So I thought, well, what about if I came up with a more sophisticated way to showcase our brand and to also say what I want to say, but people can see my face and can actually see the emotion and can actually hear it and not just read it through text or read it on Facebook or read it on Instagram and think that it means one thing, but it really means another. And so I think when we talk about politics or we talk about family or we talk about money, things that are going on in the world, for example, 50-year mortgage, can we please talk about the 50-year mortgage? We'll do that in another episode. But this is the place for us to actually be able to talk about those things. And so you're going to hear from my wife. You're going to hear from special guests that are going to be on the pod. You're going to hear from family. You're going to hear from friends, a variety of people, well-respected people that I've come in contact with over my 6-year career since being at Ramsey and where we are now. I feel like I've built up a lot of repertoire with people. I feel like I've kind of built a big system of connections, and I want you guys to hear from them because there's a lot of wise counsel in that. There's a lot of people who I want you to hear from, and so all that to say, we're glad that you're here, and we're glad that you're joining us. You're going to hear a lot more from us. I know we keep saying that, but it's very exciting for us and for our team, and so we hope that you'll stay tuned. And with that, we're out. See you next time.